when most of these free agent deals get signed, they don't working out. Sign Jason Hayward. So it's like, at that point, it's either you ride it out with those guys, and then they're gonna have to rebuild. So I don't know. We heard rumblings that they were gonna, they were gonna listen on Chris Bryant trades and things like that. So I mean, that's kind of like that's an option for them. That's a legitimate option at that point. Maybe next year and stuff, because they got to kind of figure something out. They're paying $85 million for a rotation.
That's not even good.
No, it
can be. But
if you're looking for just names, okay, it's probably top in baseball.
The point I'm getting at is, if you had $85 million, you're looking at like the 2012 Phillies or
you're
something.
Looking at the Tigers, like Max Scherzer, Verlander, Porcello, David Price.
Right.
I mean,
but you're not. It's like you have $85 million and you're hoping it is good. Right. So, anyways.
Anywho.
That's a lot of Cubs talk.
It was, yeah.
What else we got?
All right, moving on from I think that was still our quote talk. You want to talk some Rap Soto?
Rap City.
Not Juan Soto. Rap Soto.
Oh, yes. I would love to talk some Juan Soto.
I know you would.
Let's talk some Rap Soto.
People are like, what? Are we rapping now?
Right. No, there's a lot of talking around Twitter, I guess. I mean, maybe, I guess not a lot, but it's been brought up every time some Fangraphs writer sees like the device in spring training. They're going to talk and tweet about it. I love it. And essentially, you're seeing a lot of people like, well, I guess let's put it out there what it is. I mean, it's a device that can track essentially like most of the StatCast stuff, like pitch velocity, spin rate,
exit velocity, launch angles.
It tracks like literally your pitches, the slot angle, and then for hitting side, like the launch angle, the distance, the exit velocity. I mean, you're seeing a lot of the StatCast stuff, right? Those advanced analytics and such involved in this. And so, of course, I want to talk about, because the Pirates were one of, actually, it's all the teams that have it in camp, but the Pirates had one. So I'm really liking that. Let's just talk about that first off. The Pirates have that in camp. We're using it for the pitchers. They're using it for the hitters. The reason I want to bring it up is because let's rewind almost like a year ago, Ryan, and what were the quotes coming out of the Pirates camp? Oh, launch angle. We don't believe into that shit. This launch angle. We don't believe in that. We don't preach it. I don't talk about it. And, well, Jeff Branson, though. We had another year of Jeff Branson. We've talked up the coaches, the signings they've had this offseason, Ryan, how, they are analytical, but they still have the in-game approach, the eye test and such. It's a mixture of the two. So this year, of course, you see this stuff that can give you that real-time data. I think it's just a sign of there's been actual fundamental changes within the organization, and I love it. I'm happy. I'm excited, finally.
Yeah, I think, well, and getting back to your talking about the quotes, I think Hurdle was bought into it early on, because he was always he had the quote, I think it was I don't know if it was last spring training or what, your OPS is in the air. Like, basically, like, you want to have a high OPS, like, get the ball in the air. Like, that's where you're going to have it and drive it. So I feel like Hurdle was always kind of, in tune to that. Now, I think basically as a whole, the organization as a whole was, like, bought in. And most organizations around baseball, if they haven't, they're, way behind the times and everything. But, yeah, I think just you're seeing it, like I said, you're seeing it since day one in camp. It's going to be involved. Now, TrackMan, because you brought this up, and I was like, wasn't it just TrackMan? Like, TrackMan's basically the thing that MLB installs in the ballparks that do the same things, but they do them for MLB. This isn't just tracking for the games. This is tracking, like, when somebody throws a bullpen and somebody, so the coaches can take a look at these, like you said, your pitch spin, your velocity, everything. Like, they can take a look at that while you're just throwing a bullpen or something, and basically work with you on fixing something or trying to find a negative, or and fixing basically what they see. So they can work with that, and it becomes a tool. And it's, to me, it's great. This is like where baseball was going. Now, we've seen players come out. Garrett Cole came out this past week and said, "Who wants to go to a baseball game and watch a math equation?" Which, Like,
it's still a baseball game. I'm still watching baseball. No one's out there doing math.
But baseball was always
it's still being
baseball
played.
has always had math involved in it. Like, even the basic stats were math. Like, people knew how to calculate batting average. People, you know what I mean? Like, it was always math was always involved. Like, I just, that quote is so, it's just so naive. Like, no, you're still watching a game. You're still watching players compete. But as far as from a team building aspect and a, trying to put a team together and from that aspect and making players better, why wouldn't you want the more information? Like, I just don't see a negative from it.
That's my thing, and that's why we're transitioning from this. I mean, it's nice to see us, and then you're seeing the people out there that this is ruining the game, launch angle, don't believe in it, this and that, and it's like Evil Neal, I think, says it over and over. I swear, and it's you can't put it any more perfect, but every hit has a launch angle. It's
right.
Like, no matter what you do, when you hit the ball, there is a launch angle involved. It's the angle that the ball comes off the bat. That's your launch angle. All this is doing, like, here's my analogy, more or less, right? You know what you want to achieve. Like, so if I have a missile.
Whoa. If you have a missile and you didn't tell me until now, I'm going to be very upset.
If I have a missile and I want it to go and hit whatever city, I need to know how I need to launch that missile, right? So if I need to go at X amount of velocity at this angle and it's going to hit that city, I know what I need to do, right?
This
now
just
I'm going to get my scientists involved.
Their Shore 9
to
is
go
bombing
ahead and
cities.
Create that. And that's essentially what your coaches are. Like, as a player, I know what I need to do to become the best hitter. And that's essentially like what the MLB, like StatCast created, the barrel, right, as an actual stat. And it's essentially saying, like, a barrel is so at like 98 miles per hour, a launch angle of 26 to 30 degrees creates a barrel. At 99 miles an hour, 25 to 31 degrees creates a barrel. And what is a barrel? It's mathematically given out there, but these hits average basically 500 batting average and a 1,500 slugging percentage.
Yep.
So that's really good. So essentially you're saying if I can do this every time, my odds are 500 and 1,500. Like, that's really good. That's a good hitter. So now I need the coaches to help me do this. Like, I need to do this. So the coaches have to help me do it. Every hit has a launch angle. So what I'm trying to do is perfect my hit to get the maximum results, which is this, barreling a baseball. That's all launch angle is. It's not someone saying I just need to uppercut my swing all the time and hit fly balls all the time, get pop outs all the time.
Because that's not good either.
It's saying I need to hit a good baseball. I need to get good wood on it, drive it far. If I have a launch angle of 100 degrees, it's going to strip in the air, Ryan. It ain't doing shit. That's a pop out. I'm not preaching that. That's not what I'm coaching to as a hitting coach, right? That's what we're getting at. That's not good. That's not a good launch angle. That's still bad, even though it's up in the air. Like, you're preaching and trying to get this. This is the maximum swing. This is the ultimate goal. So my job as a coach is try to get you to do this as many times as possible.
Yep.
So if you have that data right there at hand, why would you not use it?
It's the same thing with film. I mean, think when, cameras were, basically brought into sports, and you had film of the other team. And you knew, some of the plays they were running, like in football or whatever. That's a huge tool. This is the same thing. It's something that you can use on your own team. You have a pitcher that's all over the place and can't locate and, hey, well, you're throwing, 2 miles an hour faster than you normally do. Maybe bring it back a little bit, or your mechanics are off. This lets them see that basically in real time. And they can see that and work with them. And look, we've seen hitters already, Yonder Alonso, Daniel Murphy. I mean, we've seen these guys basically. It's probably, it's not for everybody, I don't think, to teach this things, but we've seen basically some of these players become better hitters because of it. To teach themselves that, to drive the ball and to get the ball in the air and basically hit line drives. And that's what you want. That's a barrel.
Exactly. Eric Hosmer probably could be really good if he did buy into this stuff. But he just continues to hit the ball into the dirt. Very, very hard, but into the dirt. and he suffers. So, but you're absolutely right. Like, players that have bought into this stuff, you see it.
Yep.
You see it. They talk about this. They go out there and they have a good season. And then people want to say, oh, I don't buy into this. This is trash. Oh, stop hitting the ball in the air and pop outs. Like, it just boggles my mind. You know, like, think about this. It's blackjack, Ryan.
Sweet.
If you're counting cards, the odds are in your favor.
Maybe.
Because you have that information.
Yeah. You have a good shoe.
Like,
yeah.
you have more information, so you have better odds. Why not get and obtain the information if you can do it?
Right.
You know, like, why look at your eye and say, well, that looked good.
Right.
But it might not be. You have actual data. Very, very precise data to tell you if it was or wasn't.
And this is always, I mean, this stuff, like exit velocity and barrels, that's always been around. But think about it before we had the technology to basically show it or prove it. Like, when you heard a good hit off the bat, Donardo, you knew it. Like, oh, he really got a hold of that one. Like, did you hear that? You know, the crack of the bat.
And I'll bet you, Ryan,
like
it probably left the bat at 98 miles an hour and had a degree of 26 to 30%.
Right. That's why it sounded so good. That's why it sounded different
Right.
off the bat. And so it's like it's always been there. It's just it's more data, and you can see it in real time, and you know what happened, and you kind of know how you could maybe adjust your game to do it more often. So. And then on the other flip side, as a pitcher, you know, maybe you could pitch it somebody down or higher or something to, if they're trying to hit the ball up, maybe pitch them up. And it's different things. You're trying different things. And I just don't, people are like so afraid of the information and oh, it's a math equation and this and that. And
you literally
it's
saw Garrett Cole blow up with Houston, which Houston buys into this stuff from
right.
day one.
And he's still blasting it.
You see Garrett Cole blow up.
Yeah.
Again, another thing right in front of you.
Yeah, Charlie Morton.
You just can't deny this. I'm not saying like this is the end all be all, but this is another piece of information to make you a more complete, a better player. Why would you not do it? As a team, as an organization, why would you not want to bring in something that could benefit you?
Yep.
Why would you want to stay ignorant to it? No, give me the information. Let me see how I can use it to better me.
And it's coming for, you know, StatCast has been unveiling a little more and more every year for fielding. You know, we've seen like sprint speed and all that stuff, and, you know, the range. And I mean, they're coming up with, you know, they have the 5-star catches and everything that you always like breaking down. Like, they're going to have more fielding tools that show you that, you know, Jordy Mercer maybe didn't have the greatest range. Because, you know, when you see him get to it, well, like, wow, he made a great dive on that. That was a great play. And then you look at it, and it was like, well, he should have made that play. Like, that was like a 78%, you know, out.
Yeah.
So...
But Echeverria came in the game the very next day
right.
and did it standing up.
Right. So, like, you're going to see more information that shows you the data that shows you, yeah, Jordy wasn't that good. He didn't have that much range, you know, at shortstop in the last couple of years. So, the information's good. I love it. I think, like I said, TrackMan's in every ballpark. I mean, I think it's even in, like, a lot of the high-level minor league ballparks. And now the teams are buying pretty much their own, their own equipment here with Rapsodo and going from there. So yeah, man, it's the next wave of the game, and it's that's where it's going. So what's the term? You know, adjust or die.
Basically, yeah.
Bye bye. Fade away.
Why would you not want to keep up with everyone else?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. They become
the
extinct.
Staggerwalds, the Paul Zeisses.
We gotta go.
My day, we hit the ball on the ground and we ran it out.
Great. Well, guess what? Now all these pitchers have new data, new information. They're pitching better. So how are you going to come back and combat that? Doing the same shit you've been doing for how many years? That they
gotta hit the ball and spit some chew on.
You got to be evolving.
Gotta spit some chew on the ground.
If you don't change, you don't keep up, you're done.
That's right.
You're gone.
That's right. Jeff Branson, though.
Jeff Branson, though, gone. Example,
he gone.
Point taken.
Speaking of he gone, I think we're gone.
Yeah, we're about gone. So, real quick, so we will be on Twitch this Thursday. Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Guest?
Check us out. We'll have Joey Bag of Donuts on with me. And let us know if you want us to talk about any specific topics. We do have something in mind we're going to be ranking. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lit. 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Twitch. If you don't follow us. Do it now.
What are you rank? What are you ranking again?
You'll find